Hey, welcome back to Rick's Reviews. I'm your host, Movie Real Rick. And today, we're talking about the highly anticipated finale of the decade-long Marvel series, Avengers Endgame. This movie is a direct sequel to Avengers Infinity War and incorporates characters and storylines from other movies in the MCU, including both the Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man movies. As always, I will not be giving any spoilers for this movie, but I will be talking about things that went down in Infinity War. So, if you haven't seen all the movies leading up to this point, hold off on watching this review. But for those of you who are caught up, let's talk about Endgame. So, after Avengers Infinity War, I went home and cried myself to sleep that night, as did countless others. It was a real downer of a movie. The Avengers lost, and they lost big time. Thanos got all the Infinity Stones, completing his bedazzled gauntlet of ultimate power, snapped his fingers, and vaporized half the Earth's population. Definitely a real bummer of an ending. What's most unsettling about Thanos is he's not just some power-hungry homicidal maniac who wants to dominate the Earth or destroy it altogether. In fact, just the opposite. He wants to extend life by implementing a plan that, sadly, is actually pretty logical. We are well on our way to making this planet completely uninhabitable between pollution and overpopulation. So, wiping out half the Earth's residents isn't really that bad of an idea, provided we got to pick those who got reduced to ash. I know, it sounds horrible, but just hear me out. There's actually plenty of people who we could live without. Murderers, rapists, terrorists, politicians, everyone who was ever on the Jerry Springer Show, and those inconsiderate assholes who take up 2 spaces when they park. Trust me, it would add up much faster and easier than you think. But what makes Thanos' plan so horrific and heartbreaking is that we didn't get to pick. He vaporized half the population at random, which means statistically, every family and circle of friends around the world suffered a major loss. Needless to say, I was almost kind of hesitant to go see Endgame just because I wasn't sure how much more heartbreak I could handle, especially with the Battle of Winterfell happening in the same weekend. But with this being the finale of a 10-year series, I couldn't not go see it, so I went. And damn, am I glad that I did, because this movie is fucking awesome. Endgame is by far the best Avengers movie for so many reasons. First off, it has a great storyline where the stakes are incredibly high. But where Infinity War lacks sufficient comedic relief, Endgame more than makes up for it with numerous scenes that will have you literally laughing out loud. The humor was a pleasant and much needed surprise, but didn't take away from the gravity of the more serious scenes. To describe this movie as an emotional roller coaster would be an understatement, as people in the theater where I was at went from laughing out loud and slapping their knees to literally sobbing 10 minutes later. This movie tugs at your heartstrings in a way that few do. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you will leave completely emotionally exhausted. But trust me, it's well worth it. Endgame is also an extremely well-balanced movie. Ironically, the same thing that Thanos wanted in the first place. With so many big action blockbusters, like 95% of the movie is just non-stop fighting and explosions, and it's kind of sensory overload. But this movie has the perfect balance of action, dialogue, character development, individual subplots, love, loss, humor, group dynamics, and a superior storyline that weaves it all together to make a truly fantastic film. I can't really say too much more about this movie without giving the whole plot away, but what I can say is that this is probably the best movie I've seen so far in 2019. So if you haven't made it to the theaters yet, put it on the very top of your to-do list because it's amazing. It has everything you could possibly hope for in an Avengers finale, including my favorite thing, Scarlett Johansson. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed my review, please like and subscribe, and comment below on what you thought of the movie and my review. And tune in next Friday and every Friday for new reviews on movies and TV shows. Same Rick time, same Rick channel. Thanks for watching Movie Real Rick.